Hello and welcome back to AnimalBased in Your Face with Scott and Pam. Today we're going to be making a delicious dessert that we both love. It's healthy, nutritious, and it's animal-based. We're going to take some apples and we're going to peel the skin off those apples, cut off the apple meat, throw away the core with all the seeds because you don't want the seeds. We're going to simmer them in a pan with a little Kerrygo butter, a little vanilla, and some Ceylon cinnamon powder. You want to be sure to use Ceylon cinnamon powder that comes from Sri Lanka, because the regular store-bought powder is going to actually not say where it's from. If it just says cinnamon, it's going to be Casa. And Casa comes from a totally different tree than the tree that Ceylon comes from. And the Casa has a poison in it that actually causes liver damage and is linked to cancer in recent research. So we're going to peel these apples and we'll be right back. All right, we've got the apples all chopped up, and as you can see, we peeled the skin off, and then you just kind of cut around the core. You don't want the core in there at all. Seeds are bad. We've got about 1/4 of a stick of the Kerrygo butter in here. You may, depending on how many apples you use, you may need to use a little more. But you just want enough to cover and let the apples simmer. And here, I've cut the apples up into these little chunks. We don't really like our apples crispy. We like them more soft and tender. So I cut them up smaller so they cook faster. And also, when you cook these, your time is going to be based on how soft you want them. When you stick a fork in them and they pretty much almost fall apart, that's how we like them. Now you may be a little bit different. You may like yours crispy. So 15 minutes probably work for you. We do ours for probably about 20 minutes. And we take some cinnamon powder, which we actually have in an old container that we emptied out. You just want to sprinkle a little bit over the top. Add a little vanilla. And pop a lid on there. 15-20 minutes, maybe 30 if you want them really soft. They'll be done. I have it on a low temperature, so you just wait and that nice apple cinnamon smell will start coming out, and it'll make you hungry. Let's check on our apples. They're simmering in that nice butter and their own juices. You can stir them a little bit. They're not quite where we like them yet. They're getting soft, but not as soft as we like them. So we'll let those simmer a little bit, and we'll step over here and make the heavy whipping cream. Now this is 1/2 a cup of Horizon Organic heavy whipping cream. You can use any brand you like. We prefer the organic, and the reason we use this brand is because it's made with xanthium gum. It's a gelatin gum, where a lot of the brands have carrageenan in them, and carrageenan is a known chemical that causes stomach inflammation, stomach ulcers, and problems with the lining of the intestine. So anything with carrageenan you probably want to stay away from while we use this. We've got our vanilla, and we're going to do 1/2 a teaspoon of vanilla. Put that in there. And we have, this is the bottle we used was 100% pure organic raw honey called Nate's. We got it at our local Walmart. We have a big bee on there because we actually have neighbors right down the road that have their own bees. So this is actually Bradford honey, and it's all natural, raw, unfiltered. And this is the dark Fall is what they call it. It has the most flavor. If you can get honey that's dark like this, that's the one you want to get. We use a half a tablespoon of honey. And we put that in there. Now this thing is really nice. This is a Hamilton Beach
immersible blender.
Yep. I was using a little battery operated whisk one. It took like 10 minutes almost to make heavy whipping cream. This one has a couple of speeds on it. Just stick it in there. And you use a glass. You can use plastic, but I wouldn't use plastic because it probably would take little microplastic pieces in your heavy whipping cream. You don't want that, so use glass. And just blend it. And we'll switch over to the higher one. You can see it's already growing in volume. And there I can tell it's starting to thicken. It's almost there, still a little liquidy. There it goes. Almost like magic how this stuff turns. See it start to peak? That's what you're looking for. And now you've got delicious whipped cream topping that's sweetened with natural honey and vanilla. Mmm. Good stuff. Those apples are ready. Mmm. Put this on top of them. Amazing. Let's check our apples. Yeah, that's how we like them. Where they cut. And if you were to take a fork, put that fork in there, they barely hold on there. The fork goes in there nice. It's easy. If you like yours softer, let them go for a little more. Crispier, take them off earlier. All right, our apples are done. They're our desired softness. We're going to set them to the side and just let them cool a little bit in the pan because we put our whipped cream in the freezer. You don't want to freeze it solid, of course, but we're just keeping it super cold. And we want our apples to cool just a little bit so that the whipped cream doesn't melt instantly when it hits the apples. But this is going to make a delicious dessert. It's like an apple pie without the crust. It's delicious. We're going to put the dessert together and we're going to be right back and show you the finished product.
Look at all that butter.
That's the good stuff.
That's right. I'm going to make sure he gives me as much as he's giving himself. You want to weigh those in a minute?
All right. Yeah, pour all that butter in there. You want that butter.
Here's a close-up.
We are not afraid of butter on the animal-based diet. Butter is your friend.
And look at that cinnamon. Don't that look good? Can you smell it?
All right. Here's our heavy whipping cream.
Look at that. Yum. Put that right on top of those apples. This is like a hot apple pie without the bad stuff in the crust. There's no processed anything in this. You've got natural honey for a sweetener. And we are ready to eat.
I think it needs a little bit of cinnamon on the whipping cream.
I think it does.
Yeah.
A little extra just to give it some flavor.
More flavor.
There we go.
It's that easy. It's time to eat.
Next time on Animal Based in Your Face, we'll be making something delicious for you.